We live? So we back at it again. Hold up, I'm just writing my thoughts down. I want to make sure I get all this good stuff, because you know I always hit y'all with that new. I don't even know. You know I just always hit you with some good info, man, that you could apply to your life, man. So, pardon the humble beginnings, but I just wanted to, as you've seen on some of my old videos, I I don't write things word for word. I just make sure I write down the things I want to talk about in the video, and then I just make sure to just hit all those bullet points. You know what I mean? This video is working capital, and talking about work and capital and its relationship and labor and management and the relationship with that. Alright, so I'm about to get into that. Alright, my bad. Alright, so let's get into it, man. So let's talk about work and working capital, man. So let's start with work. So what is work? So work is just human effort and time, and it's used to create a product or service for consumption and stuff like that. And that could be let me say it again just to make sure, because so work is human effort. It's human effort and time used to produce a product or service, whether you find that service good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, so that's work. Because going back to value scales, some people may find certain things useful, and some people may find things unuseful. But either way, if the job gets done, work was used to complete it. So that's what work is. I don't want you to get work confused with a job, because let me talk about what a job is. So a job is basically when you perform work, right? You're doing work under the supervision of a boss or a supervisor. So that's what a job is. So a lot of people have jobs because they have chosen to sell their services to their company on behalf of the customer. Like I said before, if you have a job, if you have an employer, right, the work that you do, the customer pays for it. So the employer is the middleman. So even though you go to work, you go to your job, and then you do work, even though your employer signs you the check, you did that work on behalf of the customer. Okay? So that's what a job is. And you know, if you want to, you could perform the work independently if you're skilled and you have the knowledge and background to produce a product or service independently. That's just doing work by itself, and that's essentially what it is. So if you have a boss or a supervisor, it's because you chose to have a boss or a supervisor. All right. When you first apply for that job, you may have thought that it was profitable for you to have a boss at that time, instead of using your own brain and your own knowledge to produce things that you already know how to make directly for the customer or for your own company. Okay, so I just don't want y'all to get that confused. So that's work and that's job, two different things. So let's talk about work in this relationship with capital. So why is capital important? And how does it play into work? Okay, so nothing on this planet is free, right? Even if no money is exchanged, you had to expend either some time, you had to expend time and energy at the very minimum to do something, to move something. Okay, because again, nothing moves on its own forces move things. You see what I'm saying? So everything that you produce or consume it was it was created by human effort. You see what I'm saying? So you have to pay money to that individual or another or an, if not money, you have to use one of your own resources to pay this individual somehow, some way. Okay? Because again, nothing is free. All right, we're all born on this planet, and then we all have our human resources, and then you have natural resources, which are things that come from the land. So even natural resources that come from the earth, right? Let's say some people need coal, right? For their machinery or for their grills, whatever. If you need coal, coal comes from the earth. But how do you get coal? Somebody has to go into the mines and they have to mine coal. They have to go and they have to use whatever tools and equipment to mine the coal. Okay? And then even those tools and that all the equipment that's used, somebody had to make that. It didn't just show up here on its own. Somebody had to make a plan. They had to think of the idea, and then they had to think of the idea, then they had to go to work producing the idea, and then you see what I'm saying? And then the machine got made or the equipment got made. You see what I'm saying? So all these things goes back into the production line, and it goes back into effort. So every price that you pay, it doesn't go like the coal the charcoal that you use for your grill when you barbecuing in the summer. You know what I'm saying? That price that you pay, it's all being split between human beings. Is all being split between people. So I just want you to realize that everybody who was involved in the process receives a part of that price. You see what I'm saying? So with every price that you pay for is being split up between human beings. You know what I mean? So if you go to CVS and you buy something from CVS, you gotta realize that that price that you pay is being split between everybody, between the cashier, it's being split between the janitors, being split between who's ever balancing their books. You see what I'm saying? All that, the manager, all that is being split. You see what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, after everybody, what happens is usually employees, they get paid up front. So all the extra goes back to the owners of the company, right? All the extra goes, we call that profit, right? See what I'm saying? Or a surplus. It goes back to the investors of the company, or whoever owns the company if there's no investors. Okay, so that's why capital is important. So you got to realize for every service that you do. So again, yeah. Every service that you perform, or every service that you perform, you need to get paid. You know what I mean? It's just straight like that. You just need to get paid. Or if anyone performs a service for you, you got to realize that they'll probably be looking to get paid. You know what I mean? If they do it for free, then that may have been something that they thought was in their best interest at that time, but that may be, they might change. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect somebody to feel the same way forever. So just be aware of that. All right. So that's working capital, and then. So what's the relationship between that? I think I already said that you can't have work without capital. You know what I mean? Mainly it's used with money, but every deed that's done involved in the production process, it needs to be rewarded. You see what I'm saying? Like I said before, it's mainly with money, but you can pay people in various different ways. Most of the time I'll say money, because money is a form of property. But there's like 5 different ways you could pay somebody, and just money is one of them. But it's very useful because When you exchange money, it basically gives you the means. Like if you perform a service for someone and they pay you cash, now you have the means to go and consume the things that you want because you have money to buy what you want instead of just bartering. Instead of them giving you something that they make and then you have to make a whole bunch of exchanges and stuff like that. So that's just something that that's the relationship between work and capital. All right, so let's talk about labor and management, right? So work, again, in order to do work, you need labor, right? And labor is just basically your time and energy to do something. You see what I'm saying? Anytime that you're creating something, you have to expend time and energy. And if it's at the very minimum, right? And if you're creating something that is of your own self, that is from your own ideas, from your own mind, that means you use your knowledge too. So you have to use at least two resources: your time and your energy, or your time and effort. Energy and effort, same thing. But that's just something to think about, because if you have a job, right, and you go to your job and they tell you they need something done, they're telling you how they want it done, right? They're telling you how they want it done. So you see what I'm saying? They already know what they want, and they just, you know what I'm saying? They're making you do it, so you're expending your time and your energy. You see what I'm saying? Versus if you work for yourself, you already using your own mind, and using your mind, using your time, and using your energy to create something that's useful, and you're exchanging that. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you have a job, you're not using your mind essentially. I mean, you do a little bit, but you're not using it to the max capacity. So, but we'll get deeper into that. So, does labor need management? Yeah, labor needs management, but mainly the whole purpose of management is to make sure that the task, the job, the work, whatever you call it, was done correctly. Alright? And you just want to make sure that it was made to order. You know what I'm saying? If somebody ordered 8 pizzas and they want them all to be pepperoni, and you make 8 pizzas and they, one's not pepperoni, then that means somebody messed up. You see what I'm saying? So the whole purpose of a manager is just to make sure that that the job was done right. All right. So mistakes happen, but I mean that's life. Sometimes mistakes happen, and professionals, any professional should be aware of mistakes, and know that sometimes they're just going to make them. It just is what it is, and any professional is also going to realize after they become accustomed, after you get the experience and you've been working at something for a long time, or it don't even have to be that long, but after you get enough tries, you start to realize how long it takes you to do a task. You see what I'm saying? If you bake cookies, if you bake specialty cookies, right? And that's the only type of cookie that your bakery makes. After you get so many orders, you're gonna say, all right, these cookies, they take at least an hour to prepare. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna get that from just doing it a lot. So another thing about management is that they can't control the efforts of other people, right? They can only control themselves, just like the rest of us. Because only thing we got control of is ourselves, right? We're fixed to our bodies. You know what I'm saying? So even though I might, even though I might want you to do something on my behalf, if you say no, it don't matter how many times I scream at you. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter. So, so basically, the managers, his or her success just comes from the success of the people who they oversee. See what I'm saying? And if they have good business ability, you see what I'm saying? To put people in the right positions to do certain tasks, or sometimes they got to make judgment calls about what needs to be done and stuff like that. Sometimes, not all the time, right? But even then, if everything goes right, that could just be luck, because sometimes things just go right, right? So let me finish off with this. So again, is management necessary for labor? Yes, but that's only to check, just make sure the work is completed, the order. So if your manager is not, if they're not creating a plan, if they're not using their brain, if they're not a part of the production process like everybody else involved in the joint effort, then there's no need for the manager. What's the point of having them? Now you're just paying money out for, you know what I'm saying, to have somebody oversee. See what I'm saying? Think about when you go out to eat and they mess up your order, right? You go out to eat, you ask for a certain dish, you ask for dish A and they give you dish B. You gonna pay them when they give you the wrong food? Maybe yes, maybe no, but you see what I'm saying? Like, the customer already knows what they want done, so either it's done right or it's done wrong. You see what I'm saying? So again, if the manager's not a part of this production process, like if they not, because decision making is a skill. Not everybody is built for it, because sometimes things do go wrong and somebody got to get blamed for it, and not everybody's built for that. But if they're not contributing, if they just overseeing and they just yelling, and if they're not making decisions, they're not producing, they're not making plans, they're not using their brain, then you don't need a manager, bro. They're just stealing money. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, manage yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about capital, man. Let's finish up with capital. Again, we talked about capital early, but let's get into capital a little bit more. So what is capital? A lot of people don't know what it is. Some people think it's just money. Capital is basically anything that can be used, anything that can be used to make you money or property, right? And I say that because, okay, money is the thing that comes to my mind first when I thought about capital. So then you say, okay, money is capital because you use money to make more money, right? Let's say you see a bike and it's broken, and then you put some money into it, you fix it up, and then you sell it, you flip it, right? You sell it and make a profit on it. That's capital, right? But then capital could be, let's say I'm a plumber and I have all these tools and stuff. Maybe some tools that I don't even use anymore, right? I could throw them out, or I could just loan them out to other people. I could rent out my tools to other people, right? And make money off of that, right? That's capital. Okay, that's another form of capital. Tools and equipment are forms of capital. You know what I'm saying? If you're not using them, then it's not going to make you money. But if you use it, if you're not using it, but there's other people out here who need these things and they'll willingly pay for it, and use that as capital. And the last thing is just talents, right? So talents, what do I mean by talents? If you can tell jokes, make people laugh, that's a form of capital, right? I mean, you might not think it's capital, but it is, because we live in a world where comedians make a good living, okay? If you're a singer, right? We see singers all the time. They sing before sporting events. They sing at New Year's. They sing just in concert. right? That's a form of capital, right? You might not be getting paid for it now, but there are people out there who will willingly pay for these services, right? If you're an artist and you know how to draw or paint or do something creative, or you're using some sort of medium to translate ideas in your mind onto the environment outside your body, right? That's another form of capital, because there are people who willingly pay for art. You see what I'm saying? So if you have certain talents out here and you're not making money off your talents, you're not using your capital. So you might not have $1 to your name right now. You might be at zero. You might be below zero. You might owe some people money right now. But I want to let you know, man, you might have some tools in your closet. You might have some talents, you know what I'm saying, in your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to use that capital, because that's what's going to push you over the edge. That's what's going to pump you up, man. So again, this was Ashton Gray talking about working capital and the importance of it, and labor and management. You really don't need a manager unless he making decisions. But if you sovereign, we talked about sovereignty before. If you sovereign within yourself, man, you should know how to make decisions and stuff like that, and know that everything's not going to go the right way. Even if you make a plan, shit can still go left. That's just how it is. Nobody can see the future, but you got to be confident in yourself. You see what I'm saying? This is all about growth. It's all about the level up. All about that level up. So I'm going to fill my schedule up. Yeah, I don't have nothing more I gotta say, man. I just hope y'all having a good day, cause I am. We making moves, man. 2018, 2019 coming up. It's starting to get cold out here. I had to switch my jacket up. I had to wash my other one. I was sad. It's my favorite one, but you know how it is. You know what I mean? You gotta clean up sometimes. But yeah, man, I'm gonna keep giving y'all this information. It's Ash Greasy. I'm out here. Keep rocking with me. Stay tuned. Everything I do is for y'all. I want you to bubble up, man, and I want you to apply this to your life, because this same stuff I be giving y'all is the same stuff I be using for me. You heard? So, yeah, man, I hope all is well. If it ain't, it's all about your outlook. You see what I'm saying? We giving this life, and it's short, and time moves by fast, so you got to learn to appreciate this gift while you still here, man. You heard? So, keep rocking with me. New book on the way, new album on the way, new merch on the way, and just keep rocking with me, man. Even if it's only one person who watching this video, that one person, yo, just apply this to your life, man. All you have to do is act upon it. You know what I'm saying? You think about it. You make values on what do you want. You want something more, then you want something else. You want to value something more. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? Decide on it. Decide that's what you really want. Then go out here and go get it. As simple as that, man. Nobody's stopping you. Look. It's nobody stopping. It's nobody stopping you. It's nobody stopping me. I'm out here. Nobody's stopping me. See what I'm saying? So go out here and go get it, man. You know what I mean? Ash Greasy. 1.